Hi everybody and welcome back to another fighting game tutorial. In this video we're gonna be continuing our hit system, but before we actually do that, one of you wanted to add a turn-in sprite for their characters like during the game, so that when we switch the image index, or sorry, the image X scale, it's gonna look much smoother. So I'm gonna add it to the game. Now, first of all, you'll need obviously to import like these turn-in sprites for both standing still and ducking. Well, you need to update, like your handle sprites script, and we're gonna need one variable which is turning equals false at the game start. All right, so I'm gonna go to our character control. Now you'll notice that there was a code here that switches the image X scale, yeah? So I got rid of it. So that's the only thing that I did until now. So let's go ahead and add this turn-in mechanism. Well, we're gonna check if we are not turning and our opponent is not on top of us. So in this case, we're gonna check for if we can turn or not. Alright, and we only want to turn if we are in the free state and on the ground. So in this case, turn-in will be equals to, well, we can only turn if so basically we want to check if our image X scale is opposite than our opponent. Okay, so if we are facing the left, our opponent needs to face the right direction. Now in order to do that, we're gonna compare our the difference between our opponent.x with our x, so that's the difference between them. If it's the same as our sign of image X scale, then we don't need to switch, right? Otherwise we want, oh I'm sorry, this should be true, not true. Okay, so that's pretty much our only condition if when we want to switch. Now we only need to check when the animation has ended, so we can switch our switch our image scale. So we're gonna check if animation ended. Okay, so in this case we want to obviously reset turn-in to false. We want to switch the image X scale, so equals negative image X scale, oops, X scale, oops, alright, just like that. Also, if we are ducking, we don't want to override like the ducking sprite, right? So basically the same thing when we did in the second tutorial, where we kept getting up after we finished the ducking animation. So we're gonna do the same thing that we did with the where is it? Can't find it. Yeah, same thing we did with the attack state. Alright, so now the only thing that we need to do is update our animation. So this is gonna be pretty simple. We're gonna say if turn-in, we wanna play the SPR turn. Now don't forget to add these variables to your handle sprite script, and in here it's gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna say if turn-in, hopefully they didn't misspell that, okay, else we're gonna if you're not turning, we wanna play the duck animation. Otherwise we're just gonna set sprite of SP what did I call it, turn duck, I think. Yep. I think we can do the same thing here. So if not turn-in, then we're gonna play this, else set sprite SP turn. Now again, you want to add these two variables here for the animation. Now I'm gonna run the game and see how it looks. Alright, so let's test it out and let's see. Okay, let's just pick two characters. Oops, what's that? Wait, what, really? Oh, okay, of course. Yeah, so this is X. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so try again, pick captures, and okay, so let's check it out. Alright, so it looks like they are in fact turning. Let's see when they're ducking. Yep, so that's pretty much it for turning the characters. Now let's get back to our oh, why did it, okay, never mind. So now we're gonna be working on our head system. Now in the previous tutorial we I think I so in the create head script, hold on, my I'm lagging. Why isn't responding? Oh, okay. My computer was lagging for a second there. Okay. So when we create the head, this should be minus offset. Okay. So make sure to change this to minus. The second problem that we had was that we were creating multiple heads at the same time, and we don't want that to happen. Well, the only way around it is to create an ID for the head. And as you can see, actually, we do have where is it? An ID for the head, right? It's this variable. Now we just need to like set the ID of this of any head object that we create, and we should be good. So in order to do that, let's go to our create event, and we're gonna add two more variables. So we're gonna say head base ID, okay, which is gonna be let's go with -1, and we're gonna create another variable called last head ID. Let's go with -1 as well, or -2, so it doesn't have like the same ID as the head object. Okay, so the last head ID is basically the ID of the last hit that we took damage from. So when we take a hit, we can do something like this. So as long as it's not our hit, we're gonna say last hit ID equals other dot ID, just like that. And here we're gonna add another exit statement. So we're gonna check if the last hit ID equals other dot ID, then we wanna exit as well. We don't want to take damage from this hit. Let's actually add the region here, so we're gonna call it exit and region. Okay, and in this region we're gonna take damage. Okay, so you can minimize that if you want to, don't have to, but okay, just so it looks more organized. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the collision event. Now we need to find our way to you know, set the ID of that bullet. So I'm gonna go and modify this create head script. I'm gonna make it return the head object, so it's gonna return edge, right? And in the head manager, I'm gonna say var head equals this, and make sure to do same thing with, you know, these hits, or edge equals this. And now we just need to assign the ID of it. So now the ID of it is gonna be basically the hit base ID times the round of our image index. Okay, so you'll notice that when we create multiple hits with the same animation or the same index, they're all gonna have the same ID. That means when we take the damage, we're only gonna take the damage from the first one that hit us, and the last won't affect us at all. So I'm gonna copy this for the other states. Okay, just like that. Now we only need to basically change our hit ID, or sorry, the base ID. Now, so a good way to change the hit ID is after we finish each attack. So we're gonna go to our controller, so character control, gonna go to the states that we um, when we perform an attack. So actually let's create another script. We're gonna call it um, randomize base ID. Okay, and we're just gonna say last hit, or sorry, hit base ID. We're gonna, let's just increase it once, and we're gonna say if hit base ID is greater than 100. Oops. Hit base ID equals 0. Okay, so that means we're just gonna loop it from 0 to 100 every time. You don't really have to do that, but I think it's a good idea to like keep limit to this variable, so you don't want to keep increasing it all the time. You don't have to do that, but okay, so we just need to call this script when we when we end the animation of the state throw, because in this state we're gonna create a hit as well, so we're just gonna call randomize base ID. Same thing with the attack. So when we end our animation, we also want to sorry, this should be here, randomize base ID, and that's pretty much it. Now you're gonna call this script in each state where you perform an attack, and we can actually where is it, the hit manager, we can also like do the same thing here. So we can do something like case state throw, you know, because in this state we can also attack, right? And we're basically gonna have to, you know, follow the same method here. So we're just gonna check for in this case we're gonna check for the throw direction, or whatever variable you like call it, throw what do I call it? Throw direction. Okay. Actually, there's a better way to do it. I'm just gonna say, let me grab this. Okay. I'm gonna grab it too. And this is gonna be, okay. Now, yeah, so this won't change, I don't think. Yeah, maybe except for the height. Let's go with maybe 80. And this is gonna be, so we don't need that. This is gonna be so throw indexes, or what do they call it? Throw indexes. Okay. And let me just check the hit sprites or the handle sprites. Let me just okay. Okay, so they're both, so we have the first array and second array. So this is like throwing forward and backward. And let me just check the macros. Forward, backward. Yeah, I'm gonna change these to 0 and 1, so it looks, so we can do this. Hit manager. We can do this directly, and we're gonna create the throw there, just like that. Now let's run the game and see if we didn't mess anything up. So you're basically gonna have to, you know, manage your own states here, add your own attacks. If you have like extra states for attacking, then feel free to add them. And yeah, so I'm just gonna pause the video until the game finishes compiling. I'm gonna get okay, so let's pick characters. And okay, so as you can see now, when we jump we don't have like this weird error that okay, so it looks good. Now let's see the hit. No, I'm not taking any. Oh, I am actually. Yeah, but as you can see, we are taking damage, but I think we set it to 4 or something, right? so we're not like actually losing too much health. So that's more like it. Now let's see the other combos. Oops, what's that? Of course, yeah, this should be throw. That's my bad. Well, I'm not gonna waste time to run the game again, but I think it's working. It should be. So now I want to add a hurt state. So in the hurt state, we're going to like play these animations, right? Where we take damage. So you'll see that I have a damage for like a high hit, for ducking, and for like oops, a middle hit. So this is when we take a punch in like stomach area or something. So again, we'll need to like add another state. That means we need to add another macro. And so macro state hurt. Okay, let's give it an ID. Now let's go to our character control, and we're gonna add this state. Okay, state hurt. So our condition to get back to the free state is when our animation has ended, right? And or sorry, if we are on the ground, that means the animation. If the animation has ended, then we need to get back to the free state. So you know, we do something like state equals state free and break. Okay, pretty simple. If we are not on the ground, we're just gonna you know, I don't have a damage sprite for the air, so I'm just gonna like push the players backward. Okay, so in order to do that, we well, when we collide with the head, so if we take damage, alright, if we take damage, we need to change the state to state hurt. Alright, and if we are not on the ground and we take a hit, we're gonna make the player like jump a little bit higher. So the SP equals minus jump speed or jump force, and we need to push it backward. So we're gonna set the H speed to negative what's it called, sprint speed, right, sprint speed times sine of image x scale. So we're gonna go like the opposite direction, x scale. Okay, now we don't have to do that. This is the way that I want to do it. So if you have like a different method, then feel free to do it, but this is what I'm gonna be using. Okay, so now we just need to update our animation script. Now obviously we're gonna have to like, you know, add these sprites first. So let me add them really quickly. Hurt sprites. So I'm just gonna pause the video while I fill these variables. Alright, so now that we have our sprites ready, we're gonna start, you know, changing our animations. So actually, now that I think about it, since we don't have like a sprite for getting hurt, I'm gonna so in this case we're gonna say if landed, we're gonna, you know, change the state to hurt. Otherwise we won't bother with changing the states at all. Alright, so now let's go to our animation control, and well, we're gonna add another state. Let me actually put this to the side. Okay. Alright, so now we're gonna work on our hurt state. Okay, so we're just gonna check if we are on the ground. So we're gonna set sprite to, now we don't really have a way to tell did we take a high hit or a mid hit? So I'm just gonna like choose one of them, or like randomize them. So, but we're gonna fix this later when we add like more features to it. So for now, I'm just gonna check if we are duck and we wanna play the hurt duck sprite. Otherwise, we're just gonna choose one between the two. So it's gonna be SP hit or hurt H or SP hurt um, middle. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So let's run the game and see. Okay, so let me pick a character. Okay, so let's see. Okay, there's definitely something wrong here. Okay, let me see what's happening. So, slip landed. Okay, state hard landed animation and set equals state free and that's weird. Let me just check the so it looks like we're like looping the image or like what's happening? Oh, okay, I think I get it. We can't do that actually. Yeah, we can't choose here. Yeah, so it's gonna keep like randomizing them, and which means we will never you know, finish our animation. So I'm just gonna go with SPR hurt M for now. Okay, so let me run the game one more time. Yeah, so we can't like choose during this state. All right. Okay. Well, first of all, let me check if our combo is working. Okay, so it looks like it is. Let me try it out. Okay, hold on. Okay, so we're not taking damage from it, that's for sure. Are we? Oh. Hold on. Yeah, it doesn't work all the time, and that's, I think there's something wrong with the base ID. Okay. Alright, so let me... Okay, so this character is taking damage. Oops, what's that? Throw indexes. Huh. Really? Oh, let me check something here. How is it not in range? Okay, so the error was because I misspelled this here, throw. So it should be like throw, okay, like this. Also I changed this to the randomized base I increased it by 10, and we reset it to 7 when it reached 1000. I think there is something wrong with the base ID when it reaches 0, so let me just make sure. Okay, so I finally found the error. It was like pretty stupid thing to do. Basically, you need to call this before you break from the state, and that's pretty much it. So that was completely my bad. So yeah. Anyway, now so when we run the game, we should be able to damage our opponent no matter what hit we execute. So yeah, the only problem we had was with the throw-in state, which was because I called the script after break-in, which won't be executed at all because we're not in this state anymore. Okay, so let me pick another character. Okay, so let me try the combo. 2, 3. Okay, so we take like 3 hits. 2, 3, right. Well, okay, this is working. Nice. Okay. See the other character. Alright. Okay, so let's see like the... Okay, so it works when we duck. The only thing we need to do is, we don't want to get back up, right? So we're just gonna have to, do something like this. So when we hurt, when we end the animation, so if we are ducking, we're gonna do the same thing. So we're gonna set the sprite index to SP duck, and the image index to image number -1. Now I want to check. Oh, I forgot to check like when we get hit while in the air. So let's see if it's working. Okay. Alright, so this character needs to jump and then we, oops. No. Oh wait. I think yeah, I messed up. This needs to be, hold on. G player. I think jump force is already negative, so we don't need to like set. Let me just make sure. Jump force. Yeah, it is. So that was my bad. Let's run the game, hopefully for the last time. All right. Okay. So this character needs to jump, and then oops, I didn't hear it when in the air. Okay, that's more like it, yeah. Yeah, I'll say that's better, yeah. So that was all for today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Now in the next one, we're gonna add like some extra features to the hits. So we're gonna be adding some hits that can knock out your opponent. We're gonna basically add features to this kind of hit. So when we wanna throw the opponent like this, so we're gonna like make it get knocked back in the opposite direction and stuff like that. So that was all for today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and peace.